Now, the second edition of the Presidential Council of the Gambia and Senegal will kick off tomorrow in the Senegalese capital, Dakar. President Barrow left Banjul on Wednesday to take part in the Senegambian convergence intended to cement bilateral ties of the West African neighbors. Ministers and other stakeholders paved the way for the meeting between President Sall and Barrow with a review of the progress in the first edition in 2018. Let's have more details of that in this report. President Adama Barrow joined his Senegalese counterpart President Macky Sall in Dakar for the second edition of the Presidential Council meeting between the two countries. Since President Barrow became president in 2017, the two heads of states agreed to heighten the relationship and cooperation of the two countries and develop a strategic partnership for the interests of the nations. The first edition of the Presidential Council meeting was held in Banjul in 2018, following President Barrow's visit to Dakar in 2017, during which several agreements were made to improve close ties and cooperation in different sectors of developmental program of the two states. The second meeting of the Senegambian leaders was preceded by a meeting of experts and ministers from both sides in a view of the progress made on the outcome of the first meeting in Banjul. Permanent Secretary at the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Suleiman Aliunjai, said the meeting tomorrow will focus on areas that would improve the quality of relations of the two West African states.
This is the second edition of the Presidential Council meeting. The first edition was convened in Banjul in 2018. You will remember that when the new government under the leadership of President Adama Barrow came into being, he had an agreement with His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal to heighten the level of bilateral cooperation between the two countries. And one of the principal ways that the two heads of state agreed to do that was to establish a Presidential Council meeting, which is higher than the Joint Commission, which is the meeting of experts between the two countries.
His Senegalese counterpart forfeited the value of the convergence as substance for greater cooperation among a people who shared every aspect of life in common.
So the first edition, as said by my brother, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Gambia, the first edition was held in Banjul in 2018, and this is the second edition now in Dakar 2 years after. What we will do during this second edition is to review the agreements that have been agreed upon in Banjul. How far have we gone in the implementation, and now to open new avenues of cooperation, of course. So today is the experts meeting that will prepare the meeting of ministers tomorrow, and then we'll have the presidential meeting the day after tomorrow.
The draft reports and roadmap for the various agreements discussed during the experts and ministerials meeting would be presented to Mr. Barrow and Sall for consideration during the meeting. Divided by colonial borders, the two people demonstrated the desire to erase the making of the colonial invader by the creation of the Senegambia Federation few decades after independence. The formation of the Presidential Council meeting is anticipated to further the ideals of the oneness that defines Senegalese and Gambians in terms of language, culture, or nativity. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante.